Hey everyone, and welcome back for another deep dive with us. Today we're going to be unpacking something that's been causing like a bit of a stir in the crypto world. The Ethereum Foundation, they've been selling off some of their ETH holdings. And, well, people have questions naturally.
Yeah, it's definitely gotten everyone's attention.
Right. It's like, what's going on here? Are they cashing out? Is something wrong? Don't worry, we're going to break it all down for you. We've got a super interesting article here from Metin Yapıştırdı. It was published just today, November 12th, 2024. We'll be using that as our guide.
It's a really great resource for this.
Okay, so first things first. Quick reminder for anyone who might be new to this whole Ethereum thing. The Ethereum Foundation is kind of like the brain trust behind Ethereum. They're a nonprofit organization. And they're responsible for, well, keeping the whole Ethereum ecosystem running smoothly and making sure it keeps evolving in the right direction.
Yeah, exactly. They're like the guardians of Ethereum.
I love that. So let's jump right into the heart of the matter here. On November 12th, the foundation sold 100 ETH. That's Ethereum for anyone just tuning in. And they got a cool 334,000 DAI in return.
And you know what makes this particular sale so interesting? Is that it happened right after the foundation released its annual report on November 8th. Kind of like a, here's what we've been up to. And oh, by the way, we just sold some ETH. It's kind of move.
Yeah, it's definitely raising eyebrows. And get this wasn't just some random one-off sale. They also sold 100 ETH on October 30th. And hold on to your hats, they actually made 4 separate 100 ETH sales throughout October.
Wow. Yeah, there's definitely a pattern emerging here.
Right. So the big question is why all these sales? Before we get into the possible explanations, though, I think it's important to understand the sheer scale of what the Ethereum Foundation is working with.
Absolutely. Context is key.
Yeah.
So let's take another look at that annual report because it reveals some pretty mind-blowing figures. As of October 31st, the foundation had a staggering $970.2 million in total assets.
Whoa, that's serious cash.
It is. And here's where it gets even more interesting. $788.7 million of that is in crypto, primarily ETH. In fact, ETH makes up a whopping 99.45% of their crypto holdings. To put it into perspective, they own 0.26% of all the ETH in existence.
That is an insane amount of ETH. It's like they're sitting on a digital gold mine.
They definitely have a significant stake in Ethereum's future. Even after these recent sales, they still hold a massive 272,330 ETH and 168,458 DAI.
Wait, DAI, you're going to have to remind me what that is.
Oh, of course. So DAI, think of it as like the steady Eddie of the crypto world. It's a stablecoin pegged to the US dollar. So it's like having digital dollars, but they don't go on those wild price swings that we often see with other cryptocurrencies.
So it's like a safe haven in the middle of a crypto storm.
Exactly. The foundation uses it in part to manage their funds, and we'll keep the lights on.
That makes sense. But here's something I don't get. Back in September, after selling 450 ETH, they had a much bigger stash of DAI, like 8.66 million. What's with all the moving around between ETH and DAI? Are they playing some kind of crypto chess game here?
It definitely seems strategic. But to truly understand the why behind these ETH sales, we need to turn our attention to the man, the myth, the legend. Vitalik Buterin.
Ooh, here's where things get juicy.
He's not just a co-founder of Ethereum. He's like a really powerful voice in the entire crypto space.
And luckily for us, he's been pretty open about why the foundation has been selling off ETH.
All right, spill the tea. What's the master plan?
Well, according to Vitalik, the sales come down to 2 main reasons. First, they need to fund public projects. Think of all the cool stuff that's happening in the Ethereum world, all the new applications, improvements to the network, all sorts of innovation. The foundation helps make that happen by providing financial support.
So it's like they're investing in the future of Ethereum.
Exactly. And the second reason is they need to keep the lights on at the foundation itself. Running a global organization isn't cheap. Salaries, research events, it all adds up. So selling some of their ETH helps cover those operational costs and ensures that they can keep doing the amazing work that they do. Okay, that makes perfect sense. But are we talking about like a few $1,000s here and there? I mean, they're sitting on hundreds of millions.
Oh, it's definitely more than pocket change. Since the beginning of 2024, they've sold 4,266 ETH. At today's prices, that's roughly $11.83 million.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, that's not insignificant. But still, it's just a tiny fraction of their total holdings. It's not like they're having a fire sale, right?
Right. They're being strategic about it. It's all about managing their resources effectively and making sure they have the funds to support both Ethereum's growth and the foundation's ongoing operations.
Okay, but of course, when you're dealing with crypto, especially sums this large, there's bound to be some skepticism.
Yeah, that's the nature of the beast, unfortunately.
Exactly. And some people out there are accusing Vitalik of using these sales to, well, line his own pockets. They're saying he's in it for personal profit.
Yeah, those accusations have been flying around. But Vitalik has strongly denied them. He's adamant that these sales are all about supporting Ethereum and even charitable causes.
And, actions speak louder than words. He actually sold 10 billion Mudeng tokens back in October.
Muzeng tokens. Now, those are tied to a meme coin, aren't they?
Yeah. And get this. He donated all the proceeds, every single penny, to the Canro Biotech Fund. That's a pretty hefty donation even for someone like Vitalik. Doesn't exactly scream greedy profiteer, does it?
It certainly paints a different picture.
Hmm.
And it goes beyond just that one single donation.
Yeah.
He's been a pretty vocal advocate for using crypto for good, even meme coins. He argues that even assets that some might consider frivolous can be leveraged to support important causes.
It's like he's saying, hey, even in this wild west of crypto, we can do some good in the world.
Exactly. Now, it's important to note that not everyone buys into his explanations. There are still folks out there who are suspicious of the foundation's motives and think that there might be more to the story.
Yeah, the crypto world loves a good conspiracy theory. But honestly, this whole situation is a great example of why critical thinking is so important, especially when it comes to crypto. We've given you the facts, laid out the different perspectives, but ultimately it's up to you to decide what you believe.
I couldn't agree more. You have to do your own research, weigh the evidence, and come to your own conclusions. It's tempting to just accept whatever narrative fits your preconceived notions, but that's not how we learn and grow.
Well said. So we've covered a lot of ground here. The Ethereum Foundation's recent ETH sales, their massive crypto holdings, Vitalik's explanations, and the surrounding controversy. But before we jump to any conclusions, let's consider one more fascinating angle. We've been talking about, the Ethereum Foundation selling ETH and whether they're doing the right thing or not. But what if we flip the script for a second?
Oh, I like where you're going with this. You're thinking, what would happen if they didn't sell?
Exactly. What if they just held on to all that ETH? What impact would that have?
That's a really thought-provoking question. Let's play it out. On the one hand, if they're not selling, they're not adding to the supply of ETH that's available on the market.
So basic economics, less supply could potentially drive up the price, right?
Right. And a higher ETH price could be seen as a good thing for existing holders. But here's the flip side. If ETH becomes too expensive, it could make it harder for everyday people to get in on the action.
Yeah, it could create a barrier to entry. That wouldn't exactly be in line with the whole idea of a decentralized and accessible financial system, would it?
Not really. It's a delicate balance. And then there's the question of influence. Imagine the Ethereum Foundation holding such a massive percentage of ETH. That gives them a lot of voting power when it comes to decisions about the future of the network.
Ooh, that's interesting. So not selling could actually give them more control, not less. Some people might see that as a good thing, like having a strong guiding hand. But others might worry about it becoming too centralized, too much like the traditional financial systems crypto is trying to move away from.
Exactly. It's a classic dilemma. Do you prioritize stability and control? Or do you lean into the chaos and the unpredictability of a truly decentralized system? There's no easy answer.
It really makes you think, doesn't it? And it goes to show you there are so many layers to this whole ETH sale debate. It's not as simple as good guys versus bad guys.
Absolutely. And, I think that's one of the most exciting things about the crypto world. It forces us to grapple with these complex questions, to challenge our assumptions, and to constantly be learning and evolving.
Well said. We started this deep dive looking at the Ethereum Foundation's ETH sales, but we've ended up exploring some pretty profound ideas about decentralization, power, and the future of finance.
Just goes to show you, sometimes the most interesting discoveries are the ones you weren't even looking for.
So true. Well, that wraps up another deep dive. We hope you found it informative and thought-provoking, and maybe even a little bit mind-bending.
And remember, the learning doesn't stop here. Keep exploring asking. Keep asking questions. And keep diving deep into this fascinating world of crypto.
Until next time.